ready, Mac first? We are live.
We're live?
We're live.
Ladies and
We're live.
gentlemen, welcome to episode 67 of the Juggernaut Boxing Podcast. This is very, urgently. We only arranged to record, 20 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Feels like.
Not long ago.
2 hours ago. Spurlie was like, shit, we need to record, who's free? And then I'm free, and then Dan's not free, and Pete's not free, but fuck it, Alex, are you free? Alex is like, yeah, I'm free.
Yeah, that's
we're on.
We've not got Toph on two different streams from two different angles. They are different people. Two different
Brother from another mother, my friend. Though it might be the same number, the same mother, it would explain a lot. Jesus Christ, I can't get this out again. How are you guys?
Yeah.
Not
bad.
Yeah.
It's a long weekend, so I can cry for 3 days instead of 2.
Oh, only 3
No,
days.
say that. I've got a work trip, so I'm flying off to Hungary on Sunday morning, 5 a.m.
What about the
And
bank
I'll be
holiday?
working on Bank Holiday Monday. I'll be working.
Mate.
So can I have a bit of sadness, please, and people feel sorry for me? If that's okay.
I've not been at work since
I'll
Tuesday.
just play my violin.
You've not been at work since Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I'm working on a Bank Holiday. Fuck you, man.
6-day weekend, mate. That's how you
If
do
there's
it.
any bolt action players in Hungary, I'm going to be out there for for 3 weeks out of the next 6. So come hook up with me. Don't talk Hungarian to me though, because I can't stand Hungarian. So
No. I want them to speak what you said first. Hungarian to them.
Hungarian. Look,
Hungarian,
mate. It's been a hard day. I've got my bottle of port, and we're going to get into some deep shit today.
We're all loaded.
Shit. Come on, Alex. Why are we here?
Because a load of naughty Americans have told us lots of dirty secrets that we want to talk about.
There's been a leak. Looks like some guys with the rulebook who may or may not have signed NDAs have started talking, and it's really awkward because I know people who have got NDAs whose NDAs haven't expired yet, so they're can't talk, and then other people have NDAs who, whether they have expired or they just don't care anymore and they can talk.
Toph, you don't know if people have got NDAs because if somebody tells you they've got an NDA, they are in breach of the NDA. So you can't confirm or deny if somebody's got an NDA.
Okay, the point is, it's a freaking mess. It's been on Facebook all today. There's been loads of shit that's come out, and people have been sharing documents which says this is not for sharing purposes on it in big green letters on top of it. Yeah. So what we're going to do today is we're going to burn our own relationship with Warlord because we've not signed an NDA, can confirm, and talk all about this shit that's leaked.
We've also not had any information ahead of time, so.
No.
Yeah.
I will say that. I know this has been annoying you, Spurlie. How many people think that we're in the know when we're really not?
Everybody thinks that behind this background what I've got, it's just wall to wall V3 rulebooks. It's no.
I freaking wish.
I'm still learning to read, so I can actually read the rules this edition.
Actually, Alex can't read.
Top left there, I can see the V3 rulebook. Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. Yeah.
I'm still quite.
It's whenever I'm talking to someone, it's we've not got an NDA and we've not got the rulebook, and they just go, right, yeah, you've not got an NDA and you've not got a rulebook, and it's no, we really don't. It's like, how do you know all of this stuff? It's like, well, because I've read the thing on Facebook. That's it.
Didn't know you could read.
Yeah, that's the secret. You never let them know you can read.
So let's get this podcast on track because we've got a lot to cover. We've not done an episode for a few weeks now. So shall we have a very, very brief recap of the official communications we've read, and then we can go on to the more unofficial communications that we've read. So Spurlie, please tell me you've made a PowerPoint for us to all look at.
Let's start with vehicles, because that's what's come up first. It may not be the first slide, but it's the first one that's there.
Okay. Go.
This is what Warlord told us. Vehicle. I can't remember now. It was that long ago, wasn't it? Quick, let's get the post up.
I thought you'd have had the post there.
No, I thought you might remember stuff, mate. Come on.
No.
Just remember, yeah.
The main thing I remember is that not much had changed, except now if you reverse, if you fail an order check, there's some really weird wording about going towards the board edge by like the least movable route. There's a bit of like a discussion of what that even means until we all had a headache, and that now vehicles can now back like actually if they touch the board edge from a failed order check, will just be removed from the table, which is like pretty nuts. That's like Otherwise, go on, Alex.
They've complicated what was a once simple rule of you fail an order check, you go backwards, you hit something, you stop. Now you have to have an argument with your opponent as to which is the shortest route to go around an obstacle.
No, Alex. Warlord said that they simplified everything.
No.
Mate, it's easier.
The only other one is that they said in the vehicle section is that they spoke about redoing points a bit, and they said that the new King Tiger will be 440 points.
Yeah.
That's still shit. It's not good enough. I still ain't going to take one. Fuck you. You can't make me. That's my opinion on it.
The thing probably there as well was what nobody wanted was a secondary damage table for if you were...
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And what we got was a secondary damage table for superficial.
Yeah, which contains such fun as Tiger as turret jam. It's got like moves changing, like stopped drives where you can only move in like and turn in like a single direction now. It's all kind of good stuff, but again, it's not simplified. I don't know.
There's some good stuff in there. Like when I read the vehicle rules, it came across as I'm now going to be spreadsheet managing. Especially now I can get a tank platoon. I can take 4 vehicles. I now have to remember which ones have had turret jams, which ones have lost one of their 2 turns, which ones are mobilized, what kind of vehicle skips certain sections on the superficial and move to another section because they're a self-propelled gun, so they don't have a turret. It just... to me, I was thinking, oh my god, I've got my bolt action down to a table where I can have it nice and clean, and it looks like a nice historical game. I just don't want to be putting tokens everywhere. I was
going to say it's just going to be tokens, isn't it? It's going to be there's my little crew stun token, there's my little steering compromise token, that's my little turret jam token. Yeah, and if you've got like 5 vehicles in your list because you brought 5 8 armored carriers, say it could add up. They've also, though that said, they've reverted back to V1 where soft skins just immediately die on the 6 without rolling on the table. What's your thoughts on that?
Which ones?
I'm down with that. Soft skins should be really vulnerable, and you should have to think about. You shouldn't just be like, I'm just going to run them up the board. They're behind cover. You're probably going to get 1 hit and 1 in 6. It's safe enough for me to risk it. Now you actually have to think about it.
Yeah.
It was really frustrating when you'd hit and like, especially like an MMG bike when you'd shoot and hit it a million times and the fucker just wouldn't die, and you'd keep rolling a 1 and you'd be like that's just my life. But yeah, I just don't like tokens. Anyone who knows me in the real world knows that I can't stand tokens, and I'm gonna have some tokens now. And I'm like, for God's sake, simple. It's simple, guys. It's simple.
Yes.
Yeah. The one takeaway that I got from this is my King Tiger. Now, I love King Tiger. I'm always fighting down the club I want to bring my King Tiger out. Can we play bigger games so I can actually get it on the table and not feel like I'm playing with 2 dice? It's got a really long-range gun. But if it fails 1 order test, it's going to reverse off the table, so I can't make use of its big, long-range gun because I have to push it forward. And that makes me question, what am I doing with my big tank?
Especially if people can chuck 5 medium howitzers in the list for the same price and just put 5 D3 pins on you a turn because it's well easy to hit you. So like, I don't know. I don't. And what we'll get to other stuff that's been leaked later on in regards to points and stuff. But clearly, I don't think the points have changed enough to make a difference. I still don't think you're going to see big tanks.
No, it's not come down enough.
Still,
nowhere near.
No. Which is a real shame, right? But is what it is. The next week they spoke about a troop quality and morale, and gave me officially the best line in any Warlord Games publication I've read in my entire life.
Morale and troop
quality. Are you ready for this?
I've actually got...
Yeah.
I've got the whole shindig up for this one now.
Oh, good. Finally, we caught up, haven't we, with technology?
Yeah, that's what he's been doing for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah,
there we go. I would like to draw you to the last sentence in the first paragraph, if you do not mind, good sir. While there are some pretty big changes, one of the guiding principles of third edition is that if something worked and we couldn't think of a way to make it straight up better, leave it well alone. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a fucking lie.
What makes you say that, Toph?
Damage tables. It was fine. Cover. It was fine. Reversing backwards when you failed an auto check with a vehicle. It was fine. They weren't left well alone, were they? And I didn't start talking about snipers yet. My beautiful bay. Fucking love a sniper. Not anymore. Getting a fucking bitten trash panda. Do you know what I mean? So it's a lie. Wow. I know it's marketing. I know Warlord are trying to sell their thing. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. But
they're not trying to sell you snipers.
No, because they already have. I've already freaking got a garage full of them, and now they're just going to be riflemen. You know. Basically, regulars, veterans, and inex are going to be the same. There we go. Not a lot. I think the biggest part of this article, I don't know if you've got it on a second page, Spurlie, is the fact that when you rally now, you shed all pins, which I like. There's nothing worse than rallying and rolling a 1 when you had 6 pins. Does it always just frustrating? I know that's a mixed opinion though, because some people are like, oh, hang on, they actually liked they don't like the fact that pins are going to go automatically now, if that makes sense, because they think it's going to make it too easy. But then I think there's going to be more pins flying around now, so you kind of need it.
Yeah, but they might not necessarily, though. Once you've got 3 pins on a unit, what's the point in putting more on it? There's a good chance they're going to rally.
Yeah.
And you're never going to struggle to pin a unit out, knowing that they're going to get rid of it all.
And
that's true.
And it only will ever add -1 to firing. So... there's no point in chucking pins on to make them ineffective at shooting at you, because it's only ever going to do -1. We're only ever going to see 7s on an inexperienced unit. Nothing else, from what we know so far, will give you a 7, and we don't know what a 7 is now.
Another good change I like coming up is when they discuss platoon commanders. So there's just 2 now, first and second lieutenants. Captain and majors. See, this is when they actually simplify something. This is what simplification means. When you went from 4 options to now 2. Just so we're clear, because a lot of people don't seem to understand what simplification means. So it's fine. Basically, all of your platoon level commanders have got +2 and 2 extra orders as a la first lieutenants today, and all company level commanders have +4 morale and 4 extra orders a la majors today, at 6-inch and 12-inch range respectively. The one thing I do like is that now I believe you can take a company commander without having to necessarily take a platoon commander first. Depends on the platoon, I think. I'm still a bit jury's a bit out, but that's better. And we also know they're a hell of a lot cheaper now than they used to be as well.
Yeah.
A hell of a lot cheaper.
I think we're going to see a lot of senior officers.
Well, I've played around a bit when I've been at club, especially when I've been running my French. I've taken big NX lists, and a 12-inch bubble of +4 and snap 4 is massive. You can get entire chunks of your army just to move. Yeah. And even if you're on 4 pins, if you've got a +4 officer around, that's a doable. You can do that test easy. And then if you only have the -1 to hit, yeah,
you can be on 4 pins and you're likely to keep going, and because you've only got 1 negative, actually, you just keep pushing forward. And when you need that squad to do something, you've got it doing.
Yeah, especially if they kept in the full strength reroll as well, so just pinned you without actually killing anyone, you'd be fine. You'd be smashing it. It does also mean that you think, You take your 4 medium Inex mortars because, why not? Cheap as shit. And there's lots of things about indirect HE ignoring cover now. You take a single major to keep them all going, and then you just snap. And the first turn of every game, you roll your 6 dice. There's another rule I've seen coming through where Nebelwerfers and multi-launchers now give themselves a PID when they fire. Again, 1 major in the middle of that will solve all of those problems. So I hope you're all ready for the first turn, the first dice barrage of every game when someone starts rolling your multi-launchers and go, right, there we go. Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Portsmouth puts it right there in the chat, a major with 4 howitzer guns. Yeah. It's a bit obvious.
Yeah, we used to do it like with the Germans. You could do it second LT, and it stood in between 2 Nebelwerfers.
Yeah,
that was generally the most you'd kind of try to do, because otherwise,
it's too expensive to do anything else.
Whereas
but
now,
it's nice that you'll see more officers. So and coming back to I guess how do you get rid of officers comes to the next one, I guess, if you want to jump ahead to less snappers.
Oh no, we've still got another page of on morale and
we've done that bit. We've done that bit. That's vehicles and reversing. And I said that folk back there.
Yeah, you put that in the vehicles bit, but that's not the vehicles. That was a morale bit.
Oh my god!
And there's your fancy table.
Whatever.
There's a fancy table coming up for anybody, who's interested.
Tim Pot.
Right.
Tim Pot podcast.
Tim Pot. Give you Tim Pot, mate. Snipers.
So, at first, I hated what they did to my boy.
Yeah.
But, if officers become so much more prevalent and more important, maybe they still have a use.
Yeah. There we go.
So, go on, Ed. Do you want to walk us through the rules then, Spurlie?
So, snipers. You've got your exceptional damage gone. So no longer.
No exceptional damage.
Obliterate your inexperienced mortar that's sat in the open because you didn't want to spend the points. So you can do that now because, to get rid of your mortar, it's going to take at least 3 rounds of shooting from one sniper. They've still got the same range, 12 to 36 for sniper shots. Anything under 12 is just a normal rifle shot. Apparently that's new to some people. I
saw that comment. It's like, we're not talking what. This is the thing, right? When you put stuff on Facebook, right, and you're talking about the game and stuff, and you see a comment, you always assume that this person is in the same universe as you. Do you know what I mean? You assume that you're coming from the same place and talking about the same thing. But every so often you see a comment like that where people think that you could, that's new. And you're like, we don't all understand this game the same, do we? We're not talking about the same thing.
So
Yeah,
12 to 36 inch range. They can fire as a sniper from ambush. Again, something else people didn't realise.
It was a wonderful introduction.
Yeah. That's why Finnish snipers were so good.
Yeah.
I'm just confused.
They ignore cover, receive, but this is it. The way that they go around, it's just so it's the cover save stuff. Yeah. So, do you roll to hit, roll to damage, roll cover saves, or do you roll to hit, roll cover, roll to damage? And it's just not consistent. And I know they've said it's optional about which way round you do it. I don't want it to be optional. Tell me how to play your game. Don't ask me how I want to play your game.
It matters when it comes to things like when it comes to things like HE, because it's the difference between rolling 1 cover save versus 10 cover saves, right?
Yeah.
You've got to hope that the rule book will be more clear when we finally get our hands on it.
But I think it was actually the screen grab from the rulebook that says it's optional which way round you do it. So
I think that'll be one of those things that as a community there will be a natural tend to one way. There'll always be outliers, but
we'll see.
It will make it tricky when someone starts rolling dice midway through you rolling your dice and you're asking, well, what's that for?
Yeah. Yeah, but the problem is, even if you have like a community agreement that's like 90% of people,
there's still 10%.
That means that one game out of every 2 GTs, you're gonna have that argument with someone, and I can't be fucked. You know, I don't want to have that argument and then have to explain why. Well, you see, it does make a difference because, and even if they're like, it doesn't make a difference, no, I'm with Spade. I wish, you know,
so,
I wish the game was simpler.
Anything that's optional, put at the back of the book in a bit that says optional, and don't mention it at any other point. Just keep it there.
Anyway, going back to the whole sniper bit. So you can no longer one-shot teams. You can no longer take out individual models within teams, such as the guy with the Panzerfaust, the guy with the flamethrower.
Yeah.
Only the NCO.
Yeah.
And also, they've also revealed that weapon teams and artillery pieces now have NCOs.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I hated this at first. I really didn't like it. And I mean, Toast's known me for long enough to know that 1 month I love snipers, and next month I hate snipers, and I'm in that eternal conflict of whether it's worth it or not. So I hate. For me, this was like, oh well, this is decision made, easy. I just don't take them.
Yeah.
I just put them on the shelf and enjoy them as a collection. And then I started thinking, it's really easy to pin stuff. So 2-man teams, if you get a pin from a rifle squad, right, they got 1 pin, you sniper shot, that's a 2nd pin, plus a guy dead. So -1 for not having a squad leader as well. So they're now on effective 3 pins, and they're taking a 50% check. 2-man teams, really vulnerable to snipers.
Well, for me, I love snipers forever. They've been one of my favourite units. So initially when I read it was a proper kick in the backside. But I think it depends on how the meta shapes, because if everyone on their dog is bringing 4 platoon commanders, because the meta shapes to, well, you might as well just bring loads and loads of shit. Suddenly, bringing a few snipers is almost like it will help with that, because then if you can get rid of people's officers, they're then going to fuck about and not do what you want, which is almost like, you know.
Yeah,
it's how you think it would work, right? From like a historical point of view and stuff.
If you got a sniper on the table, you're going to see anyone walk any of those officers, especially if they're taking senior officers with a 12-inch bubble.
Yeah, no.
Are they ever going to walk in front of it?
No.
Proper players won't. Noobs will.
Yeah.
It's too soon. Currently, snipers is another thing where I've come back to. Oh, if it's fine, we're not going to change it. And I'm like, well, you went and changed it. And I know that a lot of people didn't like snipers one-shotting teams and stuff, but I never had a problem with that. And we had a massive discussion on our own Discord about this, where I even got diagrams out to kind of point, because you see, like, for me, it was part of a triangle. Snipers fuck teams, but teams fuck squads, but squads fuck snipers. And it was like a circle of, like, to keep everything in check, because you wouldn't spam, spamming NX mortars was always useless if someone brought a sniper, right? Because you couldn't spot and you went, bang, you're dead. Yeah. Whereas now it's like, I don't know. It's too soon. It's too soon. Too soon to know.
There is a nice little dilemma that I like to throw in now that Toph will appreciate. Is you can either take a sniper that gets +1 to hit and +1 to wound, or you can take an anti-Toph rifle that doesn't get +1 to hit, but it gets +2 to wound.
Fuck off! I'm not having this conversation with you. No.
So the only thing that really needed to take off,
something in the open, and an anti-Toph rifle is effective as a sniper.
Yeah, but nothing's going to be in the open anymore. Why would you go in the open?
No, we'll get to that, Spurlie. We will get to that. So there we go. We're up to date on what's official.
There's one more.
No, one more. Oh, for God's sake!
Special rules. We had a whole thing on special rules where they told us about special rules we already knew about, because we'd read them off the pictures of like the rulebook.
Come on!
No.
The listener wants to hear the gossip, Spurlie. They give a shit about this. They want to know all about the leaks, man.
Well, if you're going to be like that, I'll go. Yeah.
You've taken a million years to say a sentence like you've already been doing.
Yeah.
That's only because he's typing up the slides as he goes.
Yeah.
He's typing up the slides. Tin pot.
No, I'm not typing up slides for this next lot. So we are now.
Tin pot.
we are onto the unintelligence reports. There we go.
Okay.
We'll start off with officer costs.
So, is it worth kind of like explaining for the listener, because like a bit more about what's happened and stuff?
So, a group in the US called Warlord Raiders, who are, as one of them says, an affiliated group, have had the rulebook, and what I'm guessing is they were playtesting it, and for whatever reason, anything that meant that they couldn't talk about it expired today at about 4:30 UK time. And there's about 3 or 4 of them, one on Facebook, one on the unofficial Warlord Discord, one on another Discord, one in a different Facebook group, and they've basically just done an Ask Me Anything. And to start with, no matter what you asked, they would give you the answer, and they'd give you the screenshot out of the PDF rulebook that they had. Even if it said, not for distribution, in great big green letters on it, they would distribute it. It might just be me, but I think in their future, there may be a lack of pre-release material.
Yeah. Which, whatever... Obviously, you don't know what's happening in HQ Warlord Towers and what's being set fire and stuff. But, like, this is not how you want information to be released, right? You want it to be controlled in an organised manner so that you can control the control the conversation with the customer, right?
If you're going to do an AMA like this, it's done with people like Alessio, the people that have written the rules, not some random yank.
Especially when some of the comments are things like, yeah, I don't like this bit, or this is going to upset these sort of people. Do you know what I mean? So it's not just the rules in itself; it's also a commentary on the rules, and not even necessarily also in a positive manner. So like, again, if you're trying to control the conversation, you don't want to be selling your rulebook and being like, yeah, this bit, you're not going to want this bit. No, you want to be like, you want all of this stuff.
Oh, apparently it was an official presidential act. That's why it's been Joe Biden, before he leaves office, he's gone, right, tell everyone everything.
Yeah. Oh, Dart Brandon, you go. Let's go, Brandon.
It's got a bit of a Watergate feel to it,
Hopefully for me, I hope finally Warlord as a whole will be a bit more open about it, because the cat's out of the bag anyway, right? Like, do you know what I mean? We're trying for our slides, we're going to be a bit safe and not share things that have big plastered lines across them going, don't share this, because like,
we're basically not sharing anything. If you want to see it with your own eyes, it's on Facebook, it's on Discord. If you ask, people will show you where it is.
Someone down a dark alley will have it.
Yeah. It's like those dodgy deals, man. There's a guy, a guy. Everyone has that one guy in the gaming group who knows this shit. Go and talk to Dodgy Dave.
We've got one of them.
Dodgy Dave will sort you out.
I didn't know we had a Dodgy Dave.
It's you.
No.
It's you.
No.
Yeah.
That's where Dave Lane is tonight. He's down an alley.
That's exactly it. So that's why we won't be sharing direct screenshots and stuff, because we don't want to,
tread on.
We don't want to piss anyone off more who's already been pissed off. Yeah, exactly. And we would also like to get a review copy at some point. We're not going to get one if we fucking get Warlord off.
Yeah.
Simples.
Oh,
cool.
Bo's here, and Bo's, like the rest of us, doesn't think that this should have been leaked.
Nah. No way.
Nah.
No way. Absolutely not. Cool. So, officer costs. What can you tell me, Spurlie?
So, platoon leaders, 21, 30, 39 points. That's not bad.
21.
So it's your first and second lieutenant.
Yeah, first and second lieutenant.
And that also means that the tax for a new platoon
is gone down.
Is 21 points.
Yeah.
Which is fucking nothing. Which means if you want to bring 15 artillery pieces, you have to just pay 21 points for an next lieutenant per 5, which is nothing.
This is an interesting question.
No, you have to bring rifle squads as well.
Not if you was bringing an artillery. Yeah, then one purpose. Yeah. I tell me. Well, I mean, let me rephrase. If you want to take extra auxiliary platoons, it's a 21-point tax.
If you want to do that like 15, then you'd need to take 3 rifle sections to take the 3 artillery sections.
Yeah.
So the tax is a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 2 taxes to pay now. You've got income tax and poll tax. So.
Yeah. So in the tax, Jeff actually puts 21 points that a sniper can kill on a 2+, because it's NX 3+ to kill and snipers get +1. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
But you're missing the point here. I give a shit about that, Lieutenant. I want him to bring me 5 extra Nebelwerfers, please. So pipe down. He can hide in the back.
Yeah.
He's an order dice that just sits there and does nothing, or hides behind a little building and just goes +2. And just keeps everyone moving without actually ever getting into.
He dies on the 2+ if you can see him. If you can't see him, he ain't dead.
Yeah.
As an Axis player, what I want to know is, will I be allowed some of those inexperienced 20-point officers, or will I be stuck on those spending 9 points extra per platoon to take a regular officer like I've always done? And we don't know that yet.
No.
That might
More
be
interest.
in the German. That was in
the
Army special rules before, wasn't it? Or
okay, we'll get there.
So you're
the more
company commander. So your second level,
your major,
captains and majors, 42, 60, 78 points.
That's really good value. That is really good value. 60 points.
Yeah, regular.
To have a 12-inch, a 2-foot diameter bubble of +4 to all your order checks.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Basically, if you want to get something moving, unless it's got like 6 or 7 pins on it, it's going to move. Yeah. So
I can see this being like NX Nebelwerf as RMV2 though. You just take the NX one at 42.
Yeah. And you hide behind a building and snap.
Yeah, you snap 5 orders. Bang, bang, bang. And actually, this is in one of the national special rules. I will bring this up whilst we're talking about it. In the German ones, your company commander gets 5 extra orders.
That's half your fucking army. Literally half your army.
Your German major on a snap will roll 6 dice.
Hey, I hope all those people who like playing 12 dice events where it's limited to 12 dice are really comfortable with playing 40k with each other. Yeah. Because it's literally going to be snap half your army. Snap half your army. Wicked, done.
Oh, if you get another officer in that, you can just do the whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. That's ridiculous.
If you brought 3 majors, 42 points each, that's 126 points, that's nothing.
That's
activate
just over 10%.
One,
yeah, you've got 90%.
And snap 10 units, because you go 4 + 3 + 3, plus the officers. 10 units. That's weird. My brain can't even compute how the game runs when you've got 2 players both trying to do that to each other at once. And this is why, like, snipers are really weird, right? Because if that's the future, I need to prepare for that.
If I snap an officer and take an officer's dice, can he snap?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's
at least you could in V2.
He could in V2.
So you had exploding.
They might change it for
V3. You could explode in.
Yeah. It's just no one ever did it before.
God.
Because no one bothered because officers were so expensive. Exactly. Whereas now for 60 points, it's really cheap.
You've got if you had 3 majors, 3 company commanders, you've got one heck of a bubble across the board. I feel with the fact that like you only ever take 1 pin, and the fact that you can give pins out regardless of cover now, suddenly taking NX hordes is great because you're gonna hit, right? You can reliably pass your test, right? Like, so why would NX mortars? Well, you can't be one shot by snipers anymore, so why wouldn't you just take 30 dice of all of the shit, and then 3 or 4 platoon commanders to keep it all running, and then activate it all in a single go? You could really easily like bring 10 heavy mortars, easy. 10 heavy mortars and 2 platoon commanders to snap them all. It's just a rolling 60 game, isn't it? Do you think anybody has actually thought about this before it's got this far?
Well, okay. I know that people are aware. I don't want to get people into trouble.
Yeah. So they do know that this is a possibility. What we're saying then.
People on the team do.
Right.
No. people on the team may not have necessarily taken on feedback.
Right.
As is any business, right? You get a room full of people, everyone's gonna have a different opinion on something, right? Yeah. I also think that I think there's going to be a tournament pack they will release at some point to go, this is what we think, which may limit some stuff.
You mean like the old tournament?
I don't know. Well, like an actual Warlord tournament pack.
Yeah, the old one was an actual Warlord tournament pack.
And so, I mean, Massey says in the points when he's commenting on my 10 heavy mortars, why take 10 heavy mortars when you can bring 10 Nebelwerfers? Yeah.
Why do you 10?
Yeah. Why limit yourself?
Yeah. The officer tab.
Yeah.
Even more.
3D printer go brrr. WTC is going to be nuts, mate. It's going to be fucking nuts.
It does make me question, when playtesting, what kind of scenery was the table like?
Yeah.
Because this would be devastating if you've got
buildings.
WTC tables from 3 years ago.
Buildings and
not much on it. But if you play on that really thematic historical, like Duncan's boards that we've seen about, where it's actually quite clogged up, actually it has less of an effect of you using all those Nebelwerfers that can't see past it, unless you walk up to buildings. And a board's going to become more cluttered with scenery. As TOs, do we have to?
We'll see.
Really,
again, it's too early. It's too early, and I think it's going to take us at least 6 months to work out what the problems are. I think WTC is going to be an absolute shit show because we're not going to be far enough through the game to work out what the problems are. Every community in every country will have their own ideas of what the hot stuff is. It'll all come together in one melting pot, and then something absolutely horrendous will come to the top, and we'll all just go.
Since we're talking about MRLs, the comments come up, and we've had this leak today, that multi-launchers actually get a pin every time they fire going forward.
Don't give it, when I've got a +4 officer standing nearby, who cares?
If your officers are boosting them, then it's ineffectual.
Yeah. If you've got an INX medium, an INX Nebelwerfer, you normally need an 8, you've got a pin, you now need a 7. Well, guess what? You need a +4. So you've got a +4 from the nearby major. So you're still passing an 11. So who gives a fuck? Like, you've got a 1 in 36 chance of failing it.
So I pointed out. For your building up your rifle platoons, you can do it with 11 men, because you go INX officer and 2 5-man inexperienced squads.
If you go shirkers, you can make them even cheaper.
Yeah, 35 points. And then if you shirk them, that knocks 2 points off per model. So that's 25 points for 5 men.
The old Austrian squads were 20 points for 5.
50 points.
Yeah.
71 point tax. There you go.
I think it'll come down. It'll have to be things like missions as well, because we're gonna have to find, as a community, we're gonna have to find a way to either limit or punish high dice lists, because it's going to be so easy to bring 30-40 dice. Easy. You
say about missions, they are randomly kind of like generated.
Well, let's go ahead then. Keep going. We've spoken about officers.
Let me find the thing, because there we go. So it's done in 3 parts. You roll for the scenario, roll for the deployment zone, and then roll for the deployment type. So for tournaments, that's out the window, because it's all going to be preset near enough, isn't it? Or everybody's going to play the same thing.
And you go to a certain Welsh event, you play sectors 5 times.
Love it.
4.
No, I like that though. I like the whole 6 missions and 6 deployment types, because that's 36 missions, right?
So there's 6 missions. You've got seek and destroy. Key positions.
What's that?
Seek and destroy is collect all the dice for every unit killed.
Okay, kill points. Points.
Key positions, D3 plus 4 objectives. So you could have 7 objectives on the board.
Hey, you know what would be great? Bring in a 40 dice horde, because then you've got men for objectives.
Yeah.
That doesn't solve the current issue that people have. So no one likes playing the even objective missions. No one likes got even numbers, and you put 6 on one side and 6 on the other.
Nobody likes a draw. Number 3, you've got double envelopment. I'm happy with double envelopment. I played that last Tuesday and I won, so it's a good.
Oh, it's the one game you can freaking win. I mean, I've debated that mission to death.
Yeah,
I won't say let's like spend any more time on it.
Number 4 is Toph's favourite scenario, Top Secret.
Really?
We don't know what that one's about. You don't know what it is yet, Toph.
Top Secret's been in both previous editions. Been shite in both of them.
Based on where I'm taking this from, if there's no additional information, it stayed the same. Because Keep Editions was not D3+4, was it? And Seek and Destroy is a new name for meeting engagement. Basically. Then you've got number 5 is Demolition. If that's not changed as well, where you just, that snap.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang. And number 6, Hold Until Relieved. But is
that the one objective in the middle?
Yeah, one objective in the middle. Whoever holds it at the end.
Okay. We'll see. We'll have to play them. Luckily, the community is pretty good at making its own missions, right? Like, Warlord aren't going to come into our house and hold a gun to our head and say, stop playing,
as long as
Hot Bright Ridge.
I would say, so long as the objective sizes themselves aren't like wildly different, which they won't be, you can still just use all of our old missions.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay.
You can use the Juggernaut.
I like rolling for deployment zone though. Even if the missions are shit, to give credit where it's due. I do like the rolling for deployment zones. That's cool.
So yeah, there's 2 deployment zone types. You've got the long table edge, or you've got table quarters. Now, table quarters, I can see being like if you've got double envelopment and then you roll table quarters, you're already halfway across the table.
Oh shit! Yeah, how does that work?
In the other quarter, and you basically just go past each other, just totally ignore them. That's just who gets the dice quickest wins.
Yeah. Chris Smith put in the comments, to be fair, I reckon that the best thing to do would be to stop doing kill point missions, stick to games that are objective based, and yeah, that's fine. But then there's no punishment for bringing 40 dice lists. Like the 40 dice lists, you won't have enough guns or shots in the game to kill every single one. So you could play the game perfectly and still have every objective contested. So
in my mind, a good event should have a mix of
kill points,
a mix of objectives and kill points to allow different lists to perform in different ways, and then you each get your time to shine.
Okay. So the final part then, deployment type. So if you roll 1 to 3, you get meeting engagement, which starts off the board except for forward deployers.
So roll on, yeah.
Roll on. 4 or a 5 is deployed with reserves optional.
Okay.
So it's called prepared positions. And number 6 is fog of war. So you must leave half in reserve. There's no outflank, and reserves can come on from any side. Now that says to me, I can come on from your table edge. How does that work? How does that work in double envelopment? If I come on from your table edge and then go back off again, or do I actually? Because that would take me 2 turns.
No, they have to get off the opposite side.
So I come on the short edge and go straight off your edge.
I think most tournaments and most events will have to pre-select the missions, or have a mission pack, a format, if you will, to stop. That's fine for club, but because you can just veto when you roll that dice, it doesn't make sense for that mission, right? But that's ridiculous.
I would love to run an event where you actually did roll everything. 2-day event, so you got 5 games and you rolled them all. Just imagine. Are you paying for my event ticket in my hotel room? Mate, I'm holding it in your garage. I don't know what you're on about.
In my garage is fine because there's no cost for me for when it's fucked up.
That's it.
I'm not traveling.
Based on everything else, who do you think is going to be interested? There's going to be me, and then I'll just make you do it because I'll just turn up.
Yeah. As Bo says in the comments, TOs must limit the insanity as always, and that is correct as always. My only point to that is one. it shouldn't be up to the TOs to have to amend the game to make it work. Like, if I'm paying for a Warlord for a product, it should just work out the box. And also, we also got to assume that everyone agrees on the correct way, which again, as a community, we're really bad at that.
No,
especially especially in the UK, your mileage in England, your mileage may vary wherever you are. And finally, I think we're gonna have to pay for at least 6 months before we've even got a handle on where the problems are. So that's going to be a lot of potential games ruined between now and then. You know, I feel sorry for you WTC guys. You got to work this all out with no.
Not me. All I've got to do is find the prizes.
Wow, yeah. Come on then. What's next?
Flamethrowers. Let's do flamethrowers.
Okay.
Yeah, they are still in the game. You can put flamethrowers. You can put flamethrowers in your engineer units.
But you can't kill them with snipers anymore.
No, you can't kill them with snipers anymore.
So you now will always take.
But it would be kind of like the 5th model that you take off the table. So.
Okay, so flamethrowers and engineers. So flamethrowers and engineers are now way more reliable because they're always going to be the last man to die. They're going to be, and they're only ever going to get a -1 for pins.
Yeah.
Well, they have changed slightly.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're only +2 pen now.
Okay, +2.
Which is all right. When you fire them, the unit they're in automatically gets a pin.
Oh, I've not seen that bit. I've not seen that bit.
Okay.
Is that all flamethrowers or just in engineering squads?
I believe it's all flamethrowers.
So you fire a flamethrower, you get a pin. So it's now even easier to get pins because you give them to yourself on your launchers and your flamethrowers.
Doesn't matter when you've got a major nearby. Hashtag just saying.
But it's one of those where I need to buy a lot more ducks from China at this rate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like rubber duck economy is going to go through the roof.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else with flamethrowers of interest?
I'm
assuming they still do the morale test.
I don't know about that one, but I don't think we've seen
anything.
Yeah, the flamer runs out of fuel on a 1 or a 2 now.
Do you know what this edition is?
V1.
This is just V1. Between this and transports, we just got a time machine.
But
there we go.
If they do run out of fuel, you don't lose them. They just become an unarmed model.
Okay.
So, run out of fuel, and he just runs around like the Recce Jeep, not the Recce Jeep, the PPA flamethrower Jeep. When that ran out of fuel, it just became a car.
Yeah.
I think that's needed for the 2-man flamethrower teams because 1/3 of the time them deleting themselves was you just wouldn't bother.
Yeah, whereas now they become objective holders.
Yeah, the amount of times, like with a flamethrower, I've driven up the board, I've got out, I've missed, I've ran out of fuel, and then 2 dice have got because I've lost the transport as well. Yeah.
Don't worry though, because now you can have 4 engineer squads with a single major, snap them all, and annihilate half of someone's army immediately. There you go.
We need to see if there's still a flame test, don't we?
Probably. If they've not mentioned it, I would assume it's still there because it's always been there.
Yeah.
In the same way that because they've not mentioned it, I would assume it's still D6 hit, like D6 hits, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, just wait. Mass has just pointed out we are simplifying the game.
Shut up, Massey! You're upsetting me. You Italian prick! Stop it. Come on, keep going. What other stuff's come out?
Army special rules. Let's do some army special rules.
Okay, I'm ready. Have these simplified things?
Well, Tiger Fear. Boom, gone. You can't get it wrong if it doesn't exist. So
love it, love it. Good to see. 4 years too late, but we're fine.
I can't wait actually to open the rule book and Tiger Fear. It's not a national rule; it's a vehicle special rule, and it's going to be in every. Yeah, it's going to be in there. So you've got Blitzkrieg, we'll start with the Germans because that's what I've got.
Okay.
The Germans, you men snap to action. Like I said earlier, you get an extra.
They get
dice.
the +1 snap. Yeah.
So your platoon commander gets to take 3 dice instead of 2. Your company commander gets to take 5 dice instead of 4. Yeah. Next one, initiative.
Okay.
Initiative training. If the NCO is killed, roll a d6. On a 1, the NCO is removed. On anything else, the NCO stays and somebody else.
So it's no different.
No different
To what was no different.
So that, Toph, was a brilliant rule that they couldn't improve.
Oh fuck! You're just trying to piss me off now.
No, I'm just telling you what. This is what they said.
Yeah, no, yeah. Okay, yeah. I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
But your snipers shooting the German NCOs will go, I'll kill it on a 2+. Or I'll get another one on a 2+.
Yeah.
You will still get that enjoyment.
Snipers against Germans are useless.
Yeah. Well, against German squads.
Okay.
German weapon teams.
Okay.
Yeah, but German
Okay.
squads.
Yeah, I'm still on board. I'm still on board. Let's keep going. Yeah.
You put your flamethrower in a squad instead of a weapon team.
Yeah.
The next one, the Hitler's buzzsaw. So German light and medium machine guns fire 1 extra shot. I'm going to read this bit exactly as it's written. Note that this applies to all light and machine guns, both those carried by infantry units and vehicle-mounted ones.
Light and machine guns.
Light and machine guns. Yeah, so it's good to know that the Hornby dollars, haven't been spent on proofreaders.
So, is the +1 before or after you've halved the number of shots for vehicles?
I'm going to say it's after, because they've made all of the machine guns have even number of shots, so that you would half them and then add 1.
Yeah, okay. So a German Panzer III would still have 12 machine gun shots then?
12 shots, yeah.
So they've not fixed anything then, have they?
Yeah, because the Stuart doesn't have as many shots anymore because they halved it.
Okay.
But consider it fixed.
As someone who's got plenty of Panzer IIIs, I'm not complaining about this rule change. It's both thematic and I get to play with my favourite tanks.
I've got Panzer IIIs, yeah. So how many shots would my Panzer Is have? They'd be 6, 8 shots still?
8.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
The Panzer I would still have 8 shots as well.
Yeah. I've got 2 Panzer Is.
Yeah. That's still wicked, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or you take 4 flamingos, each one with 2 flamethrowers and the machine gun turret, and then a major to snap them all in one go.
And a third of them will run out.
Oh yeah, but you only have to do it once. And these ones got 2 flamethrowers anyway, so it's like, wow, you got spare.
It'll be interesting to see though if you're taking those morale checks and you've got those officers creating their bubble. Those flamethrower checks are not
actually. Yeah, true. So maybe snipers and Nebelwerfers are going to be the hot dollar, because it's the only thing that's going to be able to kill the officers that are hiding on the wrong side of the terrain. It's just going to be hunt the officer, isn't it?
Oh, I've just noticed something in the comments that the person responsible for getting rid of Tiger Fear has announced themselves. Hello, Beth.
Give the game away. Yeah. Come on, so Germans haven't changed one bit then, is what you've just told me.
Yeah, but they are pretty much exactly the same.
Okay.
Other than Tiger Fear.
Anything else?
We're on to the United States of America.
America. So, ready, boys. Get ready. Yeah. Hold your butts.
So, fire and manoeuvre.
Oh, good. They've still got that rule.
Yeah, apart from the fact it's not that rule. Same name, different rule. So, you might recognise it as rapid fire. All rifle carbine armed infantry units roll bonus dice when shooting. For every 3 men shooting with rifles or carbines, roll 1 extra dice. These extra shots can be assumed to come from any of the men shooting.
As a person who didn't have an American army, I feel sorry for all of our American brothers who have lost out on a wicked rule.
Yeah, that starter box has just gone way down, in my opinion. Damn it.
Yeah, but hitting stuff is not an issue this edition.
No, it's
whether
not.
you get an extra shot or whether you get one less
Well, what this does, it just
negative modifier.
it does increase your chances of getting that pin that was easier to get anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um,
Okay.
next
Anything
one,
else? Anything else the US have got?
gyro stabilizers. So if your vehicle is veteran and has a gyro stabilized weapon, it does not suffer the -1 to hit penalty for moving and shooting.
So are you telling me that we've waited 7 or 8 years for a new edition? We're all going to have to buy new army books that have not changed any of the rules inside.
Well, I'm not done yet. We've got air superiority. So the forward air observer may call an airstrike twice instead of once per game.
That's the same fucking rule.
Modern communications. When the units take an order test to come on from reserve, they do not suffer the -1 penalty.
They've not changed anything.
Because they're
Well, they have
perfect.
to change fire maneuver.
They've changed fire and maneuver, and if they couldn't make it better, they left it alone.
All they've done is just copied and pasted it from rapid fire from the British. Are you about to tell me that British have got the same rule as well now? Do they still get? Well, let me guess. The British get to pick from 6 as national characteristics.
5. So
Okay,
we're on to the British now.
Let me guess. They also still have rapid fire.
Yes, they do.
They do, yes.
But not for
They've also.
not for carbines, only for rifles.
What's the freaking difference?
Well, the Americans have carbines, and they needed to specify that in the rules.
Simpler. We've made this game simpler. Okay, carry on.
And yeah, so I'm going to start not with the national characteristics because you caught me out there, Toph. So for the British have lost their free forward artillery observer. Gone.
Fair.
It's gone.
Fair.
But they do now, like the Americans, get to shoot twice. So your artillery observer.
Ooh, so if you buy an artillery observer, okay, I like that. That's good.
Artillery observers.
We can tag this
come down
in price
to 75 points.
Okay, we'll have to see what the table looks like now, but I like that. That's good.
Yeah, I was saying earlier to Alex, like, does it specify whether your first barrage has to have come in before you call in the second?
It never used to be that. It never. Does the American one say that?
Yeah,
No.
it does. It does say that. I'm just looking
Okay.
at it now as well. It does say it after the first barrage has been resolved. You can call in the second. So there is the chance that you may never call in that second one if your dice rolls are bad.
Yeah. There's a bit of chat, a bit of comments in the chat from Greg Cooper where he says, just a thought on army rules, could these be placeholder rules until army books are released and they drop the new rules on us? In which case, one,
Absolutely.
I fucking hope so. Yeah, but two, why? Why would you copy V2 rulebook rules and put it in the army book? Surely you're developing all this stuff at the same time, right? Because you're playtesting something. And like another one, Adam says also they could all be could be leaked from an early playtest, which it could be early playtest, but we've only got what we have to speak on, right? And if you're doing an early playtest, why would you playtest stuff that's already been working? That's the time when you playtest the real weird shit. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what playtesting's for. I've got some weird ideas. Let's put it on the table and let's see what's what. Not we've been playing this rule for 8 fucking years. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very whelmed because I was ready for some new national rules because I'm buying new books. I was like, now's the time for them to update stuff. And there's no change.
Yeah.
No real change.
So
there is another change to
Go on.
Up and Atom.
yeah, national characteristics. You've got Up and Atom, Blood Curdling Charge, Tough as Old Boots, Rapid Fire, Vengeance.
I recognise all of those names.
Well done. You may not recognise what they do.
Okay, hit me. I'm ready.
Go on, Alex. You do Up and Atom.
So Up and Atom, if the unit is ordered to assault and fails its order test to run, measure the range to the target. If the unit was in range, you can re-roll your order test to make that assault.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
I like that. That's good. That was always a bit too strong. So that's semi. I mean, Vengeance was always a bit semi. But
Yeah, so
I like that. That's good.
It's like, I think I can make that charge. Oh, I failed my test. Let me measure. Oh, yes, I definitely.
So
can
when
make that charge.
when I've got my major next to my INX unit with a single pin, who would have a 1 in 36 chance of failing that charge, I will now have a 1 in, what's 36 times 36? A very big numbers chance of failing.
Yeah, that's a good number. That's a good number.
Yeah, good number. Wait a minute, let's do it. 36 times 36. A 1 in 1,296 chance of failing, which I can guarantee I'll do 3 times in one game. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay.
Blood curdling charge. Enemy units cannot react to an assault by shooting at them, but it doesn't apply to inexperienced or any unit that started green. So if it's inexperienced and uprated, it still can't use blood curdling charge.
Which is how it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
So same name. Tough as old.
Yeah.
Gives.
Let me guess. 1 extra attack for every 3 dudes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And your extra attack can be assumed to come from any of the men fighting. So if you've got one that's better at fighting, you load them all onto him.
Okay.
Again, nothing's changed.
Nothing new. Yeah.
Rapid fire, or you may know this as fire and maneuver from earlier on in the podcast. Yeah, we've covered that. And then vengeance. If you've got 1 or more pin markers, take a test to lose the pin marker. If there are any enemies within 12 inches, immediately before an order is given to it. So
yeah, it has
same as
it's the same.
But it doesn't have to be a visible unit. It just has to be a unit within 12 inches.
They're all the same except like a couple of tiny changes, and they've got both the Americans and the British have 2 of the exact same rule, which are named separate things.
Yeah.
Yes.
That just drives me up the wall.
The chance you get to see this duplication.
We've made it simpler. The game is so simple.
Let's move on to Japan.
I'm going to get that's just bad game design, right? If you've got the same rule, which has like multiple places in the book but under different names, why would you do that? Like, because then you're just going to get confused, right? If you make a change to one rule but not the other, then it's a factor.
They've done the opposite of what they've done with Mountaineers. So Mountaineers, you had 5 different versions of the same rule. So they were all called Mountaineers, and they all did different things.
Yeah, and it was annoying as fuck.
You've got 5 different names for the same rule.
God damn it.
So yeah, on to Japan. Yeah, there's 3 here. I can only see 2.5.
Okay.
So the first one, Death Before Dishonor. So every unit in the list has fanatics. But in addition, infantry and artillery units automatically pass morale checks for being assaulted by enemy tanks.
Okay.
But your artillery pieces are destroyed as normal. Now,
well, passing your morale check's not going to help you, then, is it?
No, that was what I was going to say. I've passed my morale check. My men have moved. My artillery piece has been destroyed. Therefore, my unit is destroyed.
So, as someone who's played Japan, it will depend if the recrewing rule continues, because it used to be if you passed the check, you could automatically recrew a gun within 12 inches. Yes, you lost your artillery.
Wasn't that on any order? So if you've been charged, you've not received an order.
So there's kind of like 2 ways of doing it. If the gun was destroyed but you passed your check, you could migrate over at that immediate time, or if
could you recrew or if the gun was with more men than it originally had?
Yeah, you can do. Yeah. But fundamentally, I mean, priorities. Fundamentally, it's no different to what it is today. Really, I know they've changed the fanatic a bit, so you can now pin them out, and you can now there was another change to fanatics, wasn't there? I forgot what it was.
Oh, the flamethrower.
They can now fail morale checks like stubborn units can. That's the biggest change, I guess, that they changed fanatics, didn't they? But they still just have fanatics. Like, the rule itself hasn't changed in the way the Japanese interact with it.
So,
okay.
Banzai charge. This has changed slightly. So you might.
It's a new and unique rule. This is.
Yeah. If the unit is ordered to assault and fails its order test to run, measure the range to the target. If the unit was in range, you can reroll the failed order test to assault.
Oh, so would that be
they've misspelled up an atom here.
So if you had an INX unit on one pin near a major, would that still be a 1 in 1,296 chance of failing by any chance? Because I did the maths about 5 minutes ago. Because it's the same fucking rule.
I know it's slightly different because in Up an Atom, run is in italics, but in Banzai charge, it's not. So I'm splitting hairs. But that is
why
different.
didn't they just come up with a special rule called like Furious Charge or something and just say these armies have Furious Charge?
Yeah.
And then you link to it once.
Yeah, it's called Banzai charge.
Why?
Banzai.
Because these are Japanese.
Yeah, and Banzai,
that was British.
Banzai is in italics. Just
You know what? I'm playing it up for the camera. It's such a minor thing to get worked up about. But at the same time, it's also kind of a bit ridiculous when like they come out with stuff like, "Oh, we're simplifying stuff," and then they do stuff like that. It's like, okay.
This is starting to show my biggest gripe at this point is bolt action was always a game where an infantryman in one army is an infantryman in the other, which is great, and then your national characteristics showed the flavour of each nation. Yeah. But if all the nations are using the same characteristic, I'm just going to take Green Army men that I had as a kid and say, today...
Yeah,
they are this nation.
Yeah. Oh, so easily. And actually, the rule that I can't see is probably the rule that we'd want to see.
It'll be the starting. I bet you it's the start the game in ambush one.
No, it's
because
not.
that's the one they've already got.
No,
is it not?
It's something to do with officers
of
and Kempertai. It show your something. If anybody out there if anybody watching,
it'll be very similar to the Soviets.
Picture of that one and would like to share it, please do.
Okay. Moving on. What else have you got for us, Spurlie?
Soviet. So the Great Patriotic War. If you fail a morale check and would be destroyed, take the test again.
Yeah, been there, done that. Same rule. Yeah.
Doesn't apply to vehicles. Infantry and artillery only.
Yeah, same as it always was, yeah.
For the motherland, every inexperienced unit that has one or more pin markers can make a test to lose one pin marker if there are any enemy within 12 inches immediately before an order is given to it. For example,
so they've taken away the Free Soviet unit and they now just have vengeance.
No, it's for the motherland. Vengeance. It's for the motherland. Completely different, mate. It sounds nothing like vengeance. I see
vengeance you, Warlord. I see what you did there.
Vengeance is one word. That's 3 words.
So that they've managed to at the same time give everyone the exact same rules they always had, and yet also give everyone the exact same rules that they always had. Both connotations of the word.
If you can't improve them, give them to everyone.
Yeah.
No, Alex, no, you misquoted. Remember, if they couldn't think of a way to improve it, they would just leave it well alone, remember?
Yeah. Just left it well alone extra for everyone.
So, next one, not one step back. Soviet armies may include a single commissar for each rifle platoon. There is so when the friendly infantry unit fails an order test within 6 inches of the commissar, remove one model from the unit and re-roll the dice. There is no choice in the matter.
Love it. Yeah. I mean, it's the same it always was, but okay.
The rule does not apply to units other than infantry and does not apply to infantry units already reduced to 1 or 2 models.
Okay.
Okay. So what they've done is they've made the commissar, that wasn't actually a special rule, it was just a model you could get that had special rules, a special rule for the army.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the last one...
I'm fine with that.
Mass batteries When rolling to determine the fire for effect radius from the aiming point of an artillery
Wait,
barrage...
wait. They get to re-roll it.
No. They roll 2 dice and take the highest. So
It was always that, actually, anyway. Yeah, it was always that.
But the British lost that. Oh, no, the British didn't have that one. Actually, didn't
No, they didn't have that one.
They had
No,
the 2 dice for prep bombardment.
No.
Which, by the sound of it, there's no prep bombardment anymore.
Okay. But all I'm hearing is that they're not really changing.
All you're hearing is the same
Not
rules on
really.
different armies.
It's just not very imaginative, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's just a bit.
No, 'cause I think it's actually quite imaginative, because nobody would, really have gone, do you know what we should do? Keep it all the same. And somebody has done. So that person, they are...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What have I got next?
So what I'm guessing we're seeing, though, is national traits from the main rulebook. And the question will be, when the army books come out, do they introduce a bit more specialised flavour? I would hope to see it, given how generic this is.
You would hope, but going off past editions with rules in the army book, not really. Like, there's been more options, but it's always been more of the same. Do you know what I mean? There's never been drastic changes between rulebook and army book.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anything else, Spurlie?
No, that's it for that bit. Let's have a shufty through. I've got so many screenshots, bits and pieces.
Well, I'll dive in with some snippets of information. If an indirect fire weapon is fired by a veteran or regular crew, they can use any spotter on the table.
Any,
and that includes
any spotter.
Air observers, artillery observers. It includes your observers.
So I could
bring. You do have a debate whether you take your NX or you upgrade to regular.
So I could bring my 10 regular mortars,
put them all behind one building, and then just put spotters everywhere.
Yeah, bring 3 or 4 spotters, and then just all use. They can all see everything all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
this is literally going to be the addition of mortars.
Level workers to kill them.
But this is just addition of mortars, because mortars can see everything, can't be one shot anymore. Will be able to fire regardless of pins.
I don't know if I'd go.
Why would I not just spam mortars?
I'd go with howitzers, because then you can shoot direct or indirect. So I can see everything indirectly with the howitzer, but then if you walk in front of me, kabump.
And if I feel a bit threatened, I can just snap half my howitzers on ambush in a single dice.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, you could, if you really wanted to, you could snap at the start, put everything in ambush, and then just go off and get a pint.
Yeah.
Or just snap everything, go down. Just snap everything, go down, go get a drink.
It took me 10 minutes. I've done every single one of my orders already. You've got 20 dice to go. I'm just going to lean back with my ice cold beer. You do what you want, mate. And every time you do something, I'll be like, stay in ambush, and then that's it.
I think this should be called the addition of the Ceresco. Yeah, because this is what Richard's going to do.
He's already ordering more artillery.
Yeah.
More artillery, more officers, and another pint.
This is a drinking man's game, literally.
Beer and pretzels, too, right? It's like, I've got time now.
Fucking hell. Okay.
Next one. Now, I really like this. Shaped charge rule now allows you to damage infantry and buildings. Counts as a 2-inch HE weapon. D6 hits, half down, +2 pen, D2 pins, no cover save. So
D6 hits, that's gone up, hasn't it? D6
from
hits
a shaped charge?
Into a building.
From a 2-inch template into a building, yeah.
You do know a Panzerfaust is a shaped charge, right?
Now, I believe they've gone up in points.
I freaking hope so.
Quite drastically.
I think
but I like that, because
I'm sure
you wanted to fire your bazooka into a building.
I think some things have lost the shape charge rule that had it, and then
Yeah, but you can't. Sorry, you can't historically change what was or wasn't a shape charge. Is this a reason that a historical game? Like, do you know what I mean? Like bazookas, Panzerfaust, Piats, that kind of thing.
We're not here for the
charges.
history, Toph.
Yeah, but this is what the internet gets really angry about, and then tells me off because I'm not being historical enough.
Yeah, you're not. Not because the game won't let you be historical enough, Toph. You're just not historical enough.
Well, okay. I mean, I like the idea of bazookas being able to fire into buildings and then blow shit up. That's cool. Hopefully,
was a Piat
they're appropriately pointed.
Was a Piat class to the shape charge?
It had the shape charge rule in the past. So
that puts an end to all those questions on Facebook about whether my Piat hits with a template or not. Because now, if you fire it into a building, it does, but you don't need the template because you do D6 hits. So,
okay.
But that's gone up, hasn't it? A 2-inch wasn't D6. 2-inch was D3.
2 inches D6.
Oh, it is D6.
1 inch is D3. Yeah.
So I don't know much above 2 inches. Like Toph doesn't know much above 1 inch. So
your wife does.
It's got nothing to do with you, though.
No, okay. So, any other interesting comments you've seen, Alex?
Tough Fighters. It's changed to now re-roll missed hits in assault.
Okay, I like that.
I think that's potentially better because
that's a good change. Yeah, I like that.
If you before the amount
it's
of
less
times,
spiky.
Yeah, the amount of times I've missed, if I've ran in with 8 Tough Fighters, I've missed 5. I'd rather have the chance to roll the 5 dice that missed again than re-rolling the 3 that hit.
It means you can't kill more enemies than you've got attacks.
Yeah.
So, if you're 10 commandos, you can kill at most 10 opponents. You can't have 8 Gurkhas run into a group of bamboo spear fighters and annihilate all of them. No, you'll kill 8. Pretty reliably. You'll reliably kill 8, but it will be 8.
But the Gurkhas might have a special rule. Who knows?
Yeah, we still in that. This is the worst part of the edition, where the information's coming out, and you've got 80% of the picture, but that last 20% can be so huge.
Well, that was it. When they were still sharing screenshots and that on Facebook and on Discord, I just said, with the amount that you're telling us, just send me a PDF.
Yeah. Charles Strange in the chat confirmed Piat, Bazooka, Shrek, and the Panzerfaust all have the shape charge rule because he saw it in a weapon chart that was leaked. So there you go, same as it always was for shape charges.
We got a little bit more information on assaults as well. The assaulting troops no longer gain an advantage. Yeah, I had tears on my face as I was driving down tonight.
Okay, so let's break it down, guys. The assault rules.
So this we don't know this until Wednesday when it's released by Warlord.
Okay, we don't know, but we do know, but we don't know. So previously, assaulting was also if you assaulted someone in the open, the assaulting unit got to go first, and if you assaulted someone in cover, you went simultaneously. Now it has changed so that assaulting a unit in the open, you strike simultaneously, and if you assault someone in cover, they get to go first.
Unless you're an engineer.
Which is quite possibly the biggest nerf I've seen across the board this new edition. And frankly, it's proper made me sour. Because long-time listeners of the show will know that I love assaulting stuff. Because it's just a fun thing to do. In a game perspective, think of the armies I've played, my Australians, my Poles, my French, that kind of thing. I always love charging shit and playing aggressively and stuff. And now it's shit. Assaulting stuff is shit. It's too risky. You would never. Yeah. Why would you put that yourself in that position? If you have an 8-man commando squad with Tough Fighter, and you go and charge, 8 regulars in the open, you might lose 5 dudes. You wouldn't risk. Why would you risk it?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Not when shooting is so much better in this edition, where if you catch someone in the open, you just shoot the shit out of them, right? Because they ain't gonna have a cover save. You're hitting them on 4s, even if they're down. Fuck it, just open fire.
Yeah.
There's no point charging them because you're gonna lose half your squad. And And if someone's in cover, definitely don't charge them, because they're going to go first, kill off your unit, and God help you, and then they get reaction fire on top of that, and God help you, they weren't in ambush. No. No. Again, they only change things if they could see an improvement. I can't see an improvement. This is... No. I don't get it. I don't get it.
My worry with this is you've got your +4 senior officers boosting the morale of every unit, so they can't be pinned out. And if they're in cover, you can't shoot them dead. And if you get your flamethrowers up in their face, you put some pins on, but the officers keep in the game.
Yeah.
You can't assault them. Are we just going to sit on opposite sides of the table and just throw dice at each other, and every half an hour, well, you killed a guy, actually. Yeah, he comes off. I get one less shot next turn.
Yeah, it's tough. It's definitely tougher.
The
only thing maybe I would have changed is the simultaneous on defense. If you're in a defended position, then flip that to be in defender goes first, and you have, if you're in the open, attacker goes first, because then it gives you some more risk to charging into cover. But there's absolutely no way you get an advantage if you charge. If you charge, you are either on a level field or you're severely disadvantaged. So why would you?
I just don't understand. And this is the thing with me, like for me, change management in me, I always have to understand. I need to know for my own personal view why a change was made, so I can then reflect on what change have you made, why have you made that. Okay, let's judge it on that result. Because currently, I don't understand this change, because assault was fine. Like, it was a way to clear out objectives, and it was already really risky because you could fluff your dice. Like, the amount of times I've charged something, and that's going to test where I've then fluffed my dice and gone, oh fuck, and it's changed the game. This happens. Whereas now, it's just never a risk you'll take because it's just not worth it.
I had 6 veteran paratroopers lose a charge against a single inexperienced Italian lieutenant.
Exactly, these things happen. So for me, if when Warlord have made these changes, I need them to help come to terms with it, to go, well, why have you made that change? Because if Warlord tell me we made this change because we think there was too much charging and we didn't like it and we want people to shoot each other instead, in which case I can say, fair enough, I don't agree, but now I understand why you made that change and it's worked for that purpose, in which case, fair enough, off you go. But when they just say, we're just trying to simplify things, we're just trying to make it easier, no. All you've done is just promote the shooting gallery. I mean, Bo's already said in the chat that he's working out that it's basically just flamethrowers and mortars and Nebelwerfers and shit.
It's like
same different day, so why have you done?
It was a flamer and Nebel meta, which is exactly the meta we were already in.
Yeah, already, yeah.
And no one liked it. And no one liked it.
No. I get the feeling that Warlord went, well, clearly Gurkhas are a problem. But rather than fixing the Gurkhas, they just went, right, let's nerf assault across the board.
Forever.
No one gave a shit. No one gave a shit when 12 inexperienced freaking Frenchmen charged you and they won.
No,
that's fine.
It's got weight of numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, like fair enough, you might have individual problem units. Gurkhas, Lancers, Bamboo Spearfighters, hands up. Yeah, they might have wanted to bring in line. Well, fix those units. Don't change the entire,
Lancers
scheme of how charging works.
Lancers you could fix by... I was just going to say, Lancers you could fix either by removing Tough Fighter or not giving them two attacks. The fact that it was 2 attacks and Tough Fighter, that's what took Lancers over the top.
Yeah.
Remove one or the other, boom, sorted.
Yeah.
So good news, Gurkhas have been changed.
Yeah.
Now 15 points.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that the only change? Okay. Well, it's a good job that they're not being any good now because assaulting is shit.
Yeah. So they're more... actually, they've come off really badly then, because they've got more expensive to do something that they're now...
The more I think about it, the worse this is, because there's no point in moving, ever. Because if you get caught in open ground, everyone's going to be hitting you on 4s, no cover save, you can't go down to save your skin. You're just going to die.
It's going to come down to where you're
And
allowed to place your objectives. If
Yeah,
I
yeah, so
can
there's
place more
no-
objectives than you on my side of the table, I win.
Dan's not on the chat on the podcast right now, but I know what he'd say. Spend the first 2 or 3 turns killing everything. Worry about objectives later.
Yeah.
Because you can't. No one can contest an objective if you're dead.
Yeah.
And currently, the way it worked in V2 is it was fire maneuver. You'd take your enemy units, you'd get them pinned down. That would give you the opportunity to do what you want to do and move. When I play with my lancers, I'd say, right, I want to go over there. That unit's a threat. I'm going to put some pins over there so they're notified. I'm now going to move over here. Now, you can't pin them out to stop them doing anything, and there's no point moving over there because it doesn't give you an advantage anymore. Because you're still going to charge stuff and it's still going to be the same anyway, so what's the point? Charging stuff in the open isn't an advantage, so why would you ever try and set that up? There's no reason to move. The only reason to ever move is to try and catch an objective, which again, if you just kill them first, you'll make your life easier to walk on it later.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I know this is really personal to me because of how I play the game, so there'll be listeners out there who are like, God, Toph, shut up moaning, like, charging stuff's unrealistic anyway in World 2, blah, 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 blah. Fair enough. If you want in a game where everyone just lines each other up and just shoots each other, you knock yourself out. But that's not the game I want to play. So I'm sorry that I don't like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not to take it away from anyone else, but personally, that's taking an aspect away of the game that I liked.
Do you know what you've just described there, Toph? World War One. 2 lines firing at each other.
Yeah.
That's World War One.
Yeah.
That's not World War Two.
Yeah. Yeah. Did any of you guys play 5th edition 40k?
No.
Did anyone in the chat play 5th edition 40k? Because this is the leaf blower. If anyone remembers what that was. Yeah. Which was just an Imperial Guard list where you just spam chimeras and veteran squads inside the chimeras, and you just go, here's 80 autocannons and plasma gun shots a turn, and you just annihilate your opponent's army ASAP within the first couple of turns, and then you just then go, cool, and grab objectives and I win. That was it.
Duh.
It was boring as fuck.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I wasn't gaming at that point, so that term had a different meaning. But yeah.
Yeah. You just build your list to literally leaf blow your opponent off the table. You know, whatever the aspect will take in V3, right? Whatever it takes to blow your opponent's list off the table, whether it ends up being, you know, mortars or howitzers or multi-launchers or flamethrowers or just, you know, 25 machine gun teams backed up by mages. I don't know what that will be yet, but I'm not seeing any reason to do anything else because I'm not scared of assault troops, right? If I think of my French and I've got 50 inexperienced assault riflemen and I'm hiding in terrain, who gives a shit if he charges me? I get to go first and murder half of him. Do you know what I mean? Even if he wins, like, he'll be weakened to the point where, like, he can't keep doing it indefinitely. I don't know. Someone tell me why that's a good thing. Someone in the chat, come tell me why that's a good thing. Darren says in the chat, I'm guessing we're not impressed with V3. I'm just confused. If someone can tell me why they made this change, I can then say, I don't agree with the reason. I don't agree with you thinking that change is reason, but that's what you wanted to achieve and you've done it, so fair enough. Do you know what I mean? If someone tells me I wanted to make just a gun line game, that's absolutely fine. Go ahead and do it. I'll go and play Old World. Me and Alex are going to start up our new podcast. We're going to, you know, only flanks. Listen to us.
That's it.
You know, but I can do that because everyone's entitled to find what they find fun and play the game that they want to play. Right?
You've just said the name.
That's fine.
There's going to be 4 podcasts already before we finish now called that.
No. Only flanks is flanks is trademarked. It's me and Alex's podcast. Yeah. Or it'll be 2 fat boulders or something.
No. Only flanks.
we have to take all of this with a pinch of salt, though, and I've been saying this ever since the first intelligence report. Until you get the book in your hand and you see it as a complete package, you know, you can't judge a package until it's in your hand.
There's also a pinch of salt that if this was a playtest copy that's been dropping out, like all these screenshots, that it's not actually up to date. So there could be changes.
That is the strongest Colombian black tar copium, though. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That is some fine copium that I will sniff in a great line.
Yeah. Well, you know,
I would gladly like so, because like I've got 36 Lancers in the garage that I would love to keep playing with. And don't get me wrong, I was very ready for them to be nerfed. I would agree that they probably needed nerfing. But there's a difference between a nerfing to bring them in line to a nerfing that says, actually, it's not even really worth getting them out of the box anymore.
Yeah.
You know what? There's one thing that has me more aggrieved than anything else. That the smoke rules haven't changed.
Really?
No.
Smoke rules haven't changed. Yeah, because...
No. Oh, my God.
If you can't improve it, don't touch it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because they worked. They worked. If I didn't roll a 6, you place them. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Why would I ever fire smoke if, like, 5 out of 6 times you're going to place it rather than me?
Oh, I love smoke rules. Playing against someone using full smoke VB launching army, so much fun. I get to do stuff on my turn and their turn, and at the end of it, I have my army to play with because they can't kill me.
Okay. Anything else in this big leak of interest in there? I know there's loads. We couldn't possibly try and cover it all in a single podcast.
There's been stuff coming out whilst we've been on here as well, so not really been able to keep up with it.
Okay.
I hear there is point reductions in Hanamegs, which I'm happy to hear.
Yeah.
So I would like to see Germany visually running Hanamegs.
So we have seen
why you want to drive your assault troops around, I don't know, because they're not going to assault. But
it's just an extra machine gun, I guess. We have seen some points and some unit entries in that a regular still 10 points, a veteran still 13 points, and an index is still 7 points, etc.
Yeah,
Shirkers is now -2. It used to be -3. Haven't SMGs gone up to 4 points per man?
Let me see if I can find army.
I do know anti-tank grenades are still 2 points a person. Do you know that famously well used rule, the anti-tank grenades?
Submachine guns are 4 points. Light machine guns are 15 points. So they brought them down 5 points, so they're still not worth it.
No.
Bicycles are 1 point per man. Anti-tank grenades are 2 points.
Meh. Meh.
The observer. I'm just looking here. The bit that says the observer may be accompanied by up to 2 men at a cost of 11 points per man regular, or 14 points per man veteran. Because they've got your observer has the infiltrator rule.
Okay. Maybe that's got a standardized points cost then.
Yeah, infiltrators looks to be 1 point. Then
okay,
that's reasonable.
That's a wicked rule for 1 point. If you have any units that are like for 1 point a man, do you want to make them infiltrators? Yeah. Or deploy. Even before that, just +1 to your cover saves. I'll pay a point to that. That's wicked.
So what else have we got? Yeah, Shirkers is -2. Green is free, but that may just be
green always was free, and we don't even know if the green does the same thing anymore.
No, but green is optional, so the squad may be green for free. That's a Soviet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So question.
Jaeger +14 per additional, so I would assume stubborn is a point.
Yeah. It's the same. It's a lot the same. I'm very underwhelmed. I was expecting and ready for big changes with things like anti-tank grenades and LMGs, and for tank grenades to stay the same, and for LMGs to only go down to 15 points.
Are you
just not enough?
Are you telling me
your
socks are still on? This has not blown your socks off.
Yeah. I don't know. Are we victims? An honest question now. Help me out in the chat now. Did we expect too much? Do you know what I mean? Like, we came in, we played V2 for years, we loved it, but we knew there was like issues, so we were like, "Oh, come on, Warlord, make a new edition, make it absolutely brilliant, fix all of our problems.
Yeah, I think
the
problem
and
was,
we're coming out the other side now and being like, no, yeah, fix everything, but no, not that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think the problem was,
are we victims of our own hubris?
I think the problem was we expected them to fix what was broken and leave alone what wasn't broken.
That's what we hoped for, yeah.
Yeah, and what we've got is they've fixed random things that maybe didn't need fixing, and they've left alone things that needed changing, and they've just, it's as if it's almost like the football pools, you know, they've got 4 bags of things and they've just pulled out, right, this time we are going to change close combat rules for the worse. Yeah, and that's how they've decided what they're going to do.
Have you seen the episode of South Park where with the manatees that decide what's happening on TV?
No.
It's basically the same thing. They have a group of manatees that just decide, they go, right, we're going to make a TV show about this, and then we're going to change that. I think there's a group of manatees underneath Warlord Games HQ right now pulling up balls that be like, charging, and
I reckon
cover. And that's just the stuff they're changing.
If you shave John Stollard's head, he probably would look like a manatee.
You mean he wouldn't just look like me and Alex?
No, I reckon he could be hiding. It might just pop out. You know.
I'm feeling the forehead, bald head, and beard combination is proper in vogue right now.
I've had a shave. Otherwise,
you're so close to joining us.
I had a shave yesterday. Otherwise, yeah, it would be.
Listeners, me and my wife and Spurlie and his wife, we went out on a little doubly datey groupie thing the other day, and even Gemma said to me like, he needs to shave his head off, and I was like, Spurlie, join me, and Spurlie was like, no, I'm looking after it.
She never said that. She never said that.
She fucking did. She did. No. She was on Team Toph, and you know it.
Oh, well, ask her. She's over there. Gemma.
You don't need to ask her. She knows I'm a favourite.
Gemma. Did you say I should shave all my hair off the other night when we were at Sixes?
No, I didn't.
No. She's on my side. You said it, not her.
Oh, she's going to say that. You're in the room with her. She's scared of you.
Oh, she's scared of me. I'm scared of her.
You don't piss off the domestic abuser when he's in the house with you. Do you know what I mean? Jesus Christ. It's fine. It's fine. Me and Gemma will talk.
We'll see him at some point and we'll shave it off.
No, to be fair, I'm happy with, she could come over and actually say it on camera, but I'm happy with the 31 viewers we've got. Yeah, we don't want to be dealing with 200-300. Nah, not like that. No.
It's fine. When we start Onlyflanks, if you want to be a presenter on Onlyflanks, you need to shave it off and grow a beard.
Toph.
Shirt and
shirt. Yeah.
Toph.
Yeah,
let's
I'm
be
up
honest.
For that. I'm up
let's
for
be
that.
honest. No matter where you go, I will follow because you haven't got a clue how to do any of this tech stuff that I do.
Let it be known that I ran the podcast for 3 years before you joined, and also if there's any man who's the textbook definition of tin pot,
makes it, mate. It makes it, doesn't it?
Back to Bolt, actually, while we're just slagging each other off. Totally put in the comments, time for a Jugger edition. I know we've had a lot of questions about whether we're going to release a V3 format. And I would just say, there's a difference between, a player pack and just rewriting an edition. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Jugger format never made that many big changes. Yeah, it changed how, you build your army list. Yeah. And there's a couple of extra house rolls. But it wasn't anything as fundamental as how assaulting and cover works. Do you know what I mean? And whilst we could make our own war game and go, here's the Juggernaut World War II war game, who the fuck's going to buy that? Do you know what I mean?
Your mum would have at least 4 copies.
Yeah, my mum would, yeah, true.
Your mum would have loads.
Yeah. So, probably not. I think obviously, we're committed now. We've got a podcast. We'll be buying the new books. Half has got it on pre-order. We'll be playing the new edition. We'll be going to tournaments. We'll be hosting tournaments. Fuck, me and Alex are busy sorting out Team England for the WTC. We will be attending.
Hopefully,
so
even after this podcast, we'll be getting a review copy.
So for the next year at least, you unfortunately will be hearing thoughts and stuff.
Yeah,
our opinions. I guess as with most things, if it dies, it will die with a whimper, not with a bang, because eventually people just move on, right? You know what I mean? Like, shall I go to the Welsh Nationals? Nah, I got an oral tournament to go to. Do you know what I mean? Like that's how things will go. It won't be like you'll see one big grand announcement going like V3 is dead. Blah! You know, you'll just see a changing of the guard, and that's the reality of wargaming, really. You know.
I hope we are going to the Welsh Nationals. I've already booked the room.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go.
It's Gemma's birthday weekend. I don't want to be about for that.
I was literally about to make that joke. Will Gemma be there? And now you've ruined it because now she doesn't know she won't be there. So that makes me sad, doesn't it?
Always.
Alex, will you be there? Can we stroke foreheads?
Oh yeah, representing.
Yeah, the Juggernaut
Nice.
Academy.
Yeah. Nice.
We've got to be there, isn't there?
Have we missed anything else? Any other interesting tidbits to for the pod?
Did you want to do a Mr. Blobby Tobby Lobby?
Oh, I think I updated the transitions. Wait a minute, I have updated the transitions. So the first one is for everyone who's moaning that I'm moaning too much.
I'm only human after all. Don't want to blame on me.
Yeah, I'm only human.
This would
I'm
be
allowed
so
to
much
moan.
better if you'd actually used them at the right times during the whole cast, instead of just at the end we just go, oh, listen to this.
I've got another one. I think that the guy who released all of those leaks might have been digging a hole for himself. There you go. Like, I prepare these things and then don't use them at the right time.
Whereas I don't prepare and need to use stuff.
In my defense, you told me like 3 hours ago we was having a podcast.
No, I didn't tell you. I said emergency podcast as a question, and you went,
"Yeah,
I'm free."
Okay,
So-
right. I don't even have I can't even remember what I submitted. We don't have Pete here with the Hobby Lobby list.
I said I was going to do the Blood Bowl orcs. Now, I have.
Did you do them?
I didn't finish them, but there is more.
So no, you didn't.
But there is more paint on them now than there was. But I also got sidetracked because I realised I needed to paint an army for the South London scrap. So
Sounds like an excuse.
It is most definitely an excuse. Yes, it is. So I pivoted from the orcs onto the 21 models that I've got to do for the South London scrap, and they're coming on nicely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. I do like that I printed those Jeeps off for you. You spray painted them once and then sent like a million photos. I'd be like, look how good they look with like a single coat of spray paint.
Hey,
Look, they're beige. Look at that.
They do look good.
They do look good. I can't remember what I can't. Okay, I can't remember what I pledged. I think it was squigs, but I also painted like 15 squig hoppers and a mangler last month, so I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'm good based on quantity of hobby that I've done.
Yeah, I also painted. Let me get this right. I also painted an orc shaman. I also painted 10 double hand weapon orky boys for my fantasy army. I went to a tournament and got beaten up by high elves. That made me sad. I did a lot of hobby.
I finished stripping and I've rebuilt and undercoated the Tuscarora chariot. So you were excited by that. You were excited by that.
I was excited.
So
yeah,
I'm going to start painting.
Save it for only flanks, man. Save it.
On that one though, you don't want me to glue that to the base. You want to make the base and then stick it to it.
Oh, am I still basing it for you?
Well, I'm not basing it. I haven't got all the stuff to base it, have I? Anything I do for that army now is coming to you for basing.
Yeah, leave it off the base, please, and I'll sort it out.
Yeah.
You fucking twat. Alex, what was your pledge from the last time you was on the show? God knows when that was.
Pete would actually have that written down somewhere, wouldn't he?
Pete would have this down, yeah. Pete would have it down.
The way I'm doing hobby at the moment, I guarantee I've done it. I mean, I've painted
your brushes have been on fire,
yeah. I've done pretty much a whole dwarf army in the last 2 weeks and won an old world tournament. with the other army.
Yeah.
Hey, Toph, how many Old World
just our
tournaments have
podcast.
you won?
I play Old World narratively. Actually, like I'm not. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what I play like. I've beaten you on more games than you've beaten me. I think.
Yeah, how many tournaments you won, Toph?
Shut the fuck up, Alex. Save it for only thanks. This is a ball action podcast, not a fantasy podcast. Okay.
You do know we're going to try and launch Only Flanks, but it's actually already going to be out there as a podcast for people trying to match horses. You know.
Jesus Christ.
I'm down for that as well.
I'm going to try and buy the domain name, and it's already going to be gone.
This is one of those things where the joke goes too far in it, and that's absolutely fine. I'm 100% ready for it.
Well, Dan's not here to take the joke too far himself, is he? So
no, he's not. He's not allowed on our podcast. No, this is our podcast. This is the Balding Men podcast for Only Flanks,
not the Blind Men podcast.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. What are we pledging for next month? I will start. I'm going to paint 30 Night Goblins. And the reason I'm going to paint 30 Night Goblins is because I was spamming Fanatics like nothing, and then Games Workshop released an FAQ saying I can only take 1 Fanatic per 10 Night Goblins, and now I'm really sad I can't spam Night Goblins, so I've got to paint more to make sure I can keep spamming my Fanatics.
Are you going to
paint 30 more.
Are you going to take them to Hungary as well?
I don't know. Depends on which room I've got in my suitcase. Maybe.
Well, if you need more room, just make work pay for it. You know.
Oh, mate, they've paid for 20 kilograms. It's just whether I bother to use the big case or the little case. Do you know what I mean?
Well, if they paid for 20, then you're taking your paint supplies, mate. Come on.
Well, we'll see. I've got I'm in Hungary for 2 weeks in September, so that might very well take the painting kit.
2 weeks, non-stop.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I'm in demand, man.
But you're in demand because you are no longer in demand. I like that.
Don't get me started talking about work. I'll start moaning. Don't do it. Come join us on the Discord and I'll tell you all about it.
We'll park this here, and we'll talk about this once we've ended the podcast.
Or I'll talk about it on Only Flanks.
Oh.
No, because people are going to think that it's a real podcast. No.
You do know, before this night is over, there'll be a Facebook page for that now that I'm going to make.
Don't worry, I've got the Only Faust's logo sorted, Spurlie, so I'll just adapt that for Only Flanks.
Yeah. We need to get Only Faust off the floor, really, don't we?
It's just it needs to be like OnlyFans, but like with a measuring stick and a protractor. Do you know what I mean? Like that'll be it. Anyway, I'm going to paint Night Goblins. Alex and Spurlie, what are you going to paint this month?
I'm going to finish painting the army that I need to paint for going down to London, and maybe on the flip side also finish painting the orcs. So the two things that I've done the two things that I've done the halves of since the last show, I will do the other halves of them.
Okay. Now, Alex, you've in the past month painted a Dark Elf army, a Beastmen army, and a Dwarf army. So I want at least 2 more armies out of you in the next month. Otherwise, I feel like you're slacking.
So I'm finishing 20 dwarves, 20 dwarves plus a dwarf on a pony, which should finish my dwarf army. So I'll have that done by Monday probably. And then I'm supplying the Gumby list for the London scrap. So I've got a couple of turnstellungs to finish and make pretty. And then that's 2 armies, right?
Yeah, that'll do. I know in a previous episode we spoke about me starting a new bolt action army, and I'm going to be real with y'all. Talking American now, y'all. I'm going to be real with you all. I'm not going to start a new army if I don't like the new edition.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. I'm going to wait for the new edition to drop, play some games, and then I may start a new army.
I am starting a new army because I've ordered the box and it's coming with the Americans that I don't have. So my hands are tied.
At least you know what their national rules already is.
Yeah.
So we're probably, new edition, we're just going to be building scenery to actually put enough terrain on the table.
For those multi-launchers to fire at.
Yeah. You're all ready to play Stalingrad. Yeah. I've got a very important question for you all before we all go, though.
Yeah.
Steve Burrow asks, has everyone got a copy of Space Marine 2 on pre-order?
No.
No?
No.
I am going to buy a copy. I am going to get a copy. But I don't pre-order. I'll wait. I'll be like a day one download as long as it doesn't come out shite. You know what I mean?
I might wait until
I'm ready.
it's on
Ready for it.
on like G2A or CD keys and get it for like half price. Yeah. Won't take long.
Okay.
Won't take long.
We don't have Dan on to make a joke for us to end on.
Yeah, so instead of a joke, we'll go, you can buy one of these t-shirts, yeah,
this is an audio podcast, right, for the vast majority of our listeners.
apart from this bit where we're doing it live and there's people watching.
Okay.
So if you're watching, you can buy one of these t-shirts. If you're listening, we've done some t-shirts. You can buy them. There you go, Toph.
It's got a Bolt Action V3 t-shirt. It's got some bombs on it. It looks very nice.
Bolt Action V3 Day. You know, like
V3 day. Yeah,
V3
like Victory Day, but for V3. Yeah. Where'd you buy them from, Spurlie?
Our website that's got a really weird... You could go to juggernautwargaming.co.uk if it works. Yeah. Because it's Tin Pot, you know.
Tin Pot, I freaking love it. Wicked. Yeah, that's cool.
or you could just give us money on Patreon. If you don't want
anything, we got the Patreon for nothing. If you're just like pouring your money down the drain, pour it into our drain. Yeah,
so,
that's it.
At the moment, you just focus on giving pocket money each month. So
or you can buy things from Warlord Games through our affiliate link because we're affiliates.
Because we are sellouts. We sell shit out now.
Yeah. Or if you want spray paints from Colourforge, we've got an affiliate link with them. Yeah.
Just basically, come join the Discord and be like, I want to buy this thing. How can I support you guys buying it? And then Spurlie will produce a link from wherever you want to buy it from because he's that resourceful. Finally, my final thought, go and buy tickets for Mincemeat.
Yeah.
We've only got 24, so that's the tournament coming up in the first weekend in November. Will be first V3 GT, we hope. It's not
last week in November.
First
weekend of November, Toph, we are at Butlins.
That's very true. We'll be at Butlins. Yeah. That's a separate story. Listen to OnlyThanks to find out why. But it'll be last weekend in November. There's Mincemeat. There's only going to be maximum 24 tickets because we can't make 7th City grow bigger. The shop venue is a set size, so it is what it is. So we've already sold about 12 tickets, so get in quick because it will sell out.
Yeah, £40.
Absolutely, it will sell out.
And it gets you a buffet lunch on both days.
40 quid, 2 days gaming, food on both days. Sorted. We've not released the formal pack because we've not got the rules yet, but it'll probably be 1,000 or 1,250 points. Probably.
I'd say
whilst you're waiting, you can order some multi-launchers and start building your army.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Chances are it'll be quite a liberal pack because you've got to see it before you can nerf it, right? You got to know what's possible before you say don't do that. But we will wait and see. Cool. Any final jokes or anything we can end the podcast on?
Ooh, I don't know. Maybe. No, I've not got one. No.
That's a freaking that's a limp erection of a podcast if I've ever heard one, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
You love it, mate.
Yeah, it is what it is. Right, I'm going to go and convince Spurlie's wife that he needs shaving. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
See you later, boys. Bye bye.
Bye.